From gigantic Christmas trees and well-pressed mall Santas, to carriage rides through traffic and endless strings of twinkling lights, urban centers like Spokane and Coeur d'Alene do their best to dress up for the holidays each year. The intent is twofold. One, to get us in the holiday mood, and the other, to get us to buy. Because in the land of retail, the spirit of Christmas means big business. Fortunately, the spirit of Christmas has many layers that when peeled back from all the hype on the surface, what's revealed are extraordinary people and organizations who, in the spirit of Christmas, are doing significant work for their community. One such charitable organization is Northwest North Pole Adventures, often referred to as one of Spokane's best-kept secrets.
The mission of the charity is to bring back the magical experiences of childhood Christmases to children who are placed in situations where that doesn't happen. Our thought is, if your life is raised in a sense of poverty or homelessness or some sort of displacement, your holiday memories as an adult aren't there. You have nothing to draw back on when you're building the life of the people around you now. And to us, that's a sad state of humanity. And so our mission is to implant, hopefully, this seed of happy, unbelievable, magical memories of Christmas, so that when you talk about it as an adult, you'll say, you know, when I was a little kid, I think I went to the North Pole, you know, and I had an elf, and I remember their name, and it was great. That's our mission.
Since 1998, over 1,000 children from around the region have had the opportunity to take a journey of a lifetime, a fanciful trip to the home of Santa, the North Pole. For the charity's founders, Melanie Lubeck and Leslie Lathrop, what started as a relatively small event, first with United Airlines and now with Alaska Airlines since 2008, has evolved into a Christmas event unlike any other.
I think the word is off the hook. Everybody wanted to push the creativity a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until it became what it is. But we've stayed in the same outline since the very beginning. Melanie and I wanted to get some kids some warm clothes, some pajamas, and some things to keep them warm. That's what we wanted to do. So we started in a tiny room over at the airport. And that's where the first 2 years we had the fantasy flight. But we were kind of shoving the occupancy of the space, and it was so crowded. And that's when we decided, well, I'll come over here to this side of the airport and look for a hangar. I think we change our kids' lives because we spend so much time with those children. And it's not about the gifts and even the warm clothes. And I didn't know this at first. This was something I learned real quick.
It's something the organization's current president, Steve Paul, learned quickly too, both as an elf in training from 2000 to 2005, and then even more so in 2006, when he became Bernie, the chief elf in charge.
In today's world, the true heart and spirit of Christmas is easily lost. It's easily forgotten. You know, for me, as I tell everyone, I'm an elf. The kitchen is full of cookies. Come on, I'll show you what's going to happen. Being an elf, being a part of all of this, is remembering that Christmas is a spirit. Being in this event, it makes that more visible to me every day. And I hope it makes it more visible to our donors. I know it does to our volunteers.
Welcome, Santa and Mrs. Claus!
The challenge each new year for the Northwest North Pole Adventure Charity is to deliver a fantasy flight experience better than the year before. And by all accounts, version 2013 achieved its goal. It began with the selection of children in November and then culminated in a spectacular 2-day event on the second Friday and Saturday of December.
Choosing the children, we actually work with the agencies. We ask them for children between the ages of 4 and 10. They can only attend the North Pole once in a lifetime. We ask the agencies to really try to find us the kids that have lost the spirit of Christmas. We then collect sizing information, health information, gift information. What would they like from Santa?
With some 66 children selected and a full year of preparation behind them, all that was left for Chief Bernie and his merry band of elves to do, following a spirited donor celebration the night before, was to carry out their mission, sharing the joy of Christmas with children in need.
Saturday morning starts pretty early. When you check in as an elf, you go through a security check. You're assigned your elf name and you are badged appropriately so that we know who you are, and broken into various teams and roles. The children are broken into 5 color teams, and so those 5 color groups then are assigned both children and elves.
Once the elf registration process was completed, the elves were fed a hearty lunch and then briefed by Chief Elf Bernie on what to expect during what promised to be a magical day.
I do a lot of helping them tap into their emotion and understand how to control it, because many times there are things that are said or heard that to an adult are extremely disturbing, and it is our natural response to want to fix it. And I have to help people understand this isn't a day where we're going to fix things. This is a day where we're going to create memories. And then it's a matter of transportation at that point. We actually send the advanced elves, the elite squad, down to the shelter where all of the agencies consolidate, so we have a single pickup point.
While Bernie and the advanced elves were en route to pick up the children, all the other elves headed to the airport. There they anxiously awaited the arrival of the children, and at the same time got their elf on.
That is their time to start being an elf. Once they arrive at the Alaska terminal, they are an elf. So if you are a lucky passenger who happens to be departing Spokane at that time, be prepared, you're going to get elfed. Early afternoon then there is the arrival, as we will call it.
All right, Bernie, look what I got! Ready?
The child and the elf meet. And many times it's an instant bond, most times it's a friendly hello. And then their elf helps them kind of understand how they're going to move through. One of the very first things they get is their North Pole passport, and they have their picture taken. So within their passport then, they're able to capture signatures, because this passport becomes a memory book for them. So it's actually a tool for us, and that many children are very introverted. They don't really know how to approach people. And so it starts kind of unwrapping that barrier of, I can have fun. Then as a team, we'll pass through TSA screening. Once they get upstairs, the passport is reviewed. It's stamped valid to the North Pole. If they don't believe by now, we still have a few more catches for them. The airport HMS host people provide them a nice lunch. We're never certain whether they have ate for the day or not. And then a little gate activity, a little excitement. It's kind of an exciting day at Spokane Airport. And then we call for the Flight 1225 boarding, and they board a chartered 737 bound for the North Pole. The flight becomes officially Santa 1 when I walk on board, and then halfway through, the pilot lets me know we're at the North Pole barrier. We have a magic chant that helps us through.
Off to the North Pole, off we fly, to dreams come true, to Spokane, goodbye!
And with that, the pilots accelerate the engines and we pass through the North Pole barrier. When we're here, the elves are on the red carpet. They get a true Hollywood arrival at the North Pole, and then we arrive at the Great Door.
There is only one key to the North Pole, and Santa holds it except for one day. And we have it! And with this key, we open the North Pole. Welcome! We're home!
What the kids quickly discovered upon entering the North Pole was the fact that they were not in Spokane anymore. All around were fun activities of every kind, From ornament making to face painting, there were delightful specialty shops like Frosty's Closet, where they received a pair of pajamas, and Mrs. Claus's kitchen, where cookies were made with their names. They even got a chance to visit Magic Mountain and share a hug or two with Mrs. Claus. In the end, though, it was their private meeting with Santa, followed by story time, that made the night complete.
And then at the end of the night, Santa, of course, he comes out of the fireplace. Well, how else would he come to the North Pole? We see a love with Santa and Mrs. Claus. She tucks him in with his blanket, and at that point, she gets the children ready to read them a story. You know, they don't have blankets or pillows, or they don't even have a book. And so from out of the wings come all of the elves with a bag, with the pillow, the blanket, and the Polar Express hard copy book. So we nestle them all down, and she reads them the story. The story gives us one of our main mission pieces, which is at the end, when the little boy realizes that he has lost the bell. Santa brings it to him in the box, and he understands the message of the story, which is always believe. Don't let this memory go away. At that point, it's time for Santa to get to bed, and so Mrs. Claus and Santa leave. The elves help the children collect all of their belongings from the day, and the special elf delivery system kicks in. The children are transported through the magic transporter. Out of that are limousines, which are waiting to take the children back to that central shelter where we started. Meanwhile, the magic elf delivery is ahead of them, so that when they arrive at their home shelter, no matter where that will be, their gift is waiting for them.
With the last of the children now on their way home and into the night, there was little doubt they would always remember this fantasy flight. For Bernie and his elves, while their job was done, what will last forever for them and all who were there are special memories of Christmas delivered and shared.
And obviously it's great for the kids, and it's just really great to see our community come out and do this much for those kids.
I feel like I got to be part of a joyous occasion that's just going to create so many memories and just put the faith and belief in the human spirit, and it's amazing. It really is.
We have a lot of kids who come into this event. They're really closed off. They're coming in experiencing things that many of us don't experience, and we give them that opportunity to become a kid again.
It's seeing Christmas through a whole different light and seeing Christmas through a little 5-year-old girl's eyes that really doesn't have a lot, and you have this opportunity. You have one whole day that you get to be with them and to make all their wishes come true, and it's powerful. And I wouldn't miss it for the world ever again. I'm going to do it every single year.
I have always said Santa Flight will always happen as long as there are children that need it. And I'm proud of it in a city that can make it happen. I mean, we're in a very unique position in Spokane to be able to create a universal magic and show the world the heart of Christmas.
If you have an idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.